Because we think money is the be-all and end-all, we've attached it to everything in life. It makes us choose who we sleep with, who we have children with, where you live. The reason you're here in Johannesburg is because of Inyugu.
Yeah.
If you don't have a job, it's like you're crippled.
Yeah, you can't think. Yeah?
Because in capitalism, anytime you can provide for yourself, it means you're not buying.
Yeah, so the system can be fully
The
functional.
system
Yeah,
needs
for sure.
you
Yeah.
to be as useless as possible. One of the things I guess that's not being discussed is we've spoken about a lack of black financial literacy.
Yeah.
Black people don't understand money and the economy, which means some of the people that are looting don't know the circle of, if I steal from this company,
Yeah.
and this company maybe has to retrench or it loses money, that means the company can't pay certain tax,
Yeah.
or it can't hire certain people who will pay certain tax, which means there will be less tax money that will come back to me as a poor person for a grant,
Yeah.
for hospitals, for free schooling. They don't know that because they lack financial literacy.
Yeah.
Some of obviously the clever blacks understand that, which is why in their heads they're like, but this is stupid, you're killing yourself. But again, like I said, there's a psychological aspect that we don't understand. Every day in the news, you'll hear about unemployment. We've never needed jobs. Now, if you don't have a job, it's like you're crippled.
Yeah, you can't think. Yeah.
All the other animals besides human beings survive without money and jobs. We're the only ones that have manufactured that type of living to get by. And in manufacturing it, the board game of Monopoly comes up where the game ends because Utebza owns all the streets.
Yeah.
That's the thing we manufactured. It was never meant to be for all of us to be fine. Not just on a small scale. What that means is you can be worth 20 million. You can only be worth 20 million if there's a million other guys who don't have money. You can't be rich with them. If you're going to be rich with them, it means there's another neighborhood that's poor. You see it with the Jews and the Indian Muslims in South Africa and some of the white Afrikaners. Stellenbosch can only be Stellenbosch if Capitec and Pep and ShopRite are sucking money from blacks. If it's not going to be like that and all South Africans are rich, it means we're sucking from other countries, whether it's African countries or somewhere else. China can only be great because it is selling to the whole world.
Yeah, for sure.
It can never be that we can all be rich. We'll never all live well off.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things maybe China has gotten right, that Buddhism gets right, is this thing of just being comfortable with what you have. And abantu abamnyama don't have that anymore, because if they did, they wouldn't need to leave rural areas. They wouldn't need to come to squatter camps and live like cockroaches and rats, begging. And after you beg, you become desperate and then you lean to crime. Because in your head, all you've been told is that you need money and ispan. That's all we have today.
For the longest time, and it's ingrained in you that I am fethu. Meluthola ispan, mfana. Meluspan. But what I find interesting about the education system when it comes to that is that when the job is not there, people really can't think.
Yes.
Like umchita fona uyahlala nge-degree.
Yes.
In that forum house, no diploma, ntambana akuna next, boy. Hey.
After 17 years.
Hey, ntwana kunzima, ntwana, you know. And that's one thing I hate about the education system. You can't plant, you can't fix anything, you can't do fuck all.
Sure.
But just sit. And that's why when there's an opportunity to loot, ntwana, obvious, in fact, you're gonna loot. Because
we think money is the be-all and end-all, we've attached it to everything in life. It makes us choose who we sleep with, who we have children with, where you live. The reason you're here in Johannesburg is because of Inyugu.
Yeah.
The reason your parents moved to Cape Town, it speaks to the friends you make. When they tell you, look at you're the average of the 5 friends you work with. So if they're not, so all of a sudden you're leaving impinch zako that make you happy because you want to be with the high rollers.
Yeah.
The content that you consume, it's all driven by money. To this most fundamental aspect of humanity, which is breeding and making kids. We've made that a money thing. No, I'm not ready to have kids because I can't afford. I want to be financially stable. And then, no, ntwana yazi ngangifuna ingane eziwu-5 kodwa manje inyuku yami, so I think I'll just have 2. The most primal of things in life making children has been narrowed down to money. Lions, monkeys, snakes, bees, every other animal does not have money as a factor that determines why they breed. Go a few generations back, and our grandfathers didn't have kids because of money. They had kids because a child once brought in is going to be raised by the village and is going to come add value into your life. Arguably, this was the reason why when your daughter leaves your home, she needs to be replaced with cattle. Because someone is taking an asset away from you. This daughter, she cooks, she looks after other kids, she whatever. Now someone is coming to take this asset and they're going to go multiply and make more kids
for
with
the
your
next
asset.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming to take your daughter and she's going to give me 5 sons, I now have 5 workers, 5 strong bulls that are going to be working my land for me. You no longer have this daughter, for example. We've lost that, and I think we need to go back to that, because what we have today is a child that has become like a car, like DSTV. As soon as you buy that decoder, every single month, you're going to be paying Nyugo. Yeah. As soon as you buy a car, petrol, insurance, license disc, car wash, maintenance, all the time. A car is a liability because it sucks money from you. Yeah. Even a car guard. When you don't have a car, you don't have to pay a car guard. You don't have to pay at the mall for parking. A child has become that. Children were never meant to be that. They were never meant to be school fees, clothing, medical aid, takeaways, extra karate. Never. As soon as you had a child, it was like giving birth to a calf. I'm going to be milking this thing now. And it's going to grow into something great and it will multiply. This child that I'm giving birth to, I'm going to take care of it and feed it for the next 3 to 5 years. And then after that, this child is going to start working in the garden. This child is going to start being sent around. They're going to herd my sheep, my cattle. They're going to be doing this. Once they turn 12, 13, they're giving me ideas. If I run a production house, my child is like, Dad, have you ever thought of, I saw this. Dad, let me come and be a presenter for your show. We see it with P. Diddy and his kids. We saw it with Will Smith and Jada and their kids. You know, your kids are now becoming assets where they're coming up with ideas and they're adding value to the family. We've lost all of that. All of it. And I think we need to go back to that. I hear people complain about child labor. Your child shouldn't be working. There should be children. We force kids to go to school.
Yeah, already.
We force them.
Yeah.
They don't choose it. Kids sit for 5-6 hours in a classroom, passively. Keep quiet. If you don't keep quiet, you have ADHD, you must take Ritalin. Your child must be a robot. And your child is writing all day. As soon as they finish writing, they're on the rugby field, hitting tackle bags, running around, being shouted at by the ref. That child is being forced to do something they don't want. Unfortunately, that thing they're being forced to do is not productive for you and your family. So why can't I force my child to work in the garden? Why can't I force him to run around and go fetch my sheep? Capitalism hates that, because in capitalism, anytime you can provide for yourself, it means you're not buying.
Yeah, so the system can be fully
The
functional.
system
Yeah, for
needs
sure.
you
Yeah.
to be as useless as possible. You must need money. For money, you must need a job.
Yeah.
You must need a car to get around. You must need to buy petrol. You must need food. Your child must need to go to school. When you're sick, you can't plant your own herbs. No. You must go to a doctor. You must go to a pharmacy. No, you can't wash your own car. Something so simple. You have to go to a car wash. You can't service your own car. That's complicated for you. Keniki Moto is taught to slow kids. You can't service your own car. Send it to a workshop. Capitalism needs you to constantly be spending money.
Those who are looting, or the poor black people, right now unemployment is going to go to the highest we've ever seen in the country. Because they're saying that just to pick up for one shop right to come back up, if they are really quick, could be 3-4 months. If they are really quick.
Yeah.
Like one mall in jail for it to come back up. So the average is looking at a year. And how many malls in Soweto and J, just in Soweto and J, you know, for them to come back up, that's a year. And about one mall employs about 8,000. The whole value chain of employment is about 8,000. So I think they really want to feel it the most, and which is all of us. Petrol is going to skyrocket and all that stuff, veggies, bread, and all of that. The big players, that's the thing that I still need to figure out. What is it that they're going to gain and who started this thing? The conspiracy side of it is a thing that I still thinking about.
Around.
Nah, the conspiracy side of it, I'm still thinking about, like who who stands to gain this thing? Obviously, big business will always do. And I mean, right now, the biggest thing is that Sastra is the people that are going to pay, which is a government
insurance company.
Yeah. No one else is going to pay all these things besides them. And how much money is that? And who runs it?
I hope there will be a spotlight on Sasria. People didn't know we have a state-owned insurer. We want to know now, who are they? How much money do they have?
People didn't know that, yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's the CEO. I think Umasondo was saying they have enough money. It's like, people must relax. They've got 3-4 times the reserves. He's pretty confident. One of the things we're not talking about is, if we start entertaining the conspiracy of a coup, we need to talk about external gainers.
Yeah.
Glencore, as one of the bigger commodities firms in the world, along with companies like Trafigura and Vitol, which people don't know. A lot of them born from a company called Mark Rich and Company. These are big boys that fucking run the world. Glencore's been caught out a few times in funding rebels across the African continent because they wanted to maybe get copper. I think they were rumored to fund the Libyan rebels as well, where Gaddafi ended up getting killed. We're still speaking of it on a very low base. We're not looking at a potential China wanting local businesses to collapse, because we know China can put up a mall in a month. They can come in and be like, oh, we come and help you rebuild. You know, I saw Isonto in the south, Pastor Mkuba, a lady. She's it's being built by a Chinese construction company. It's going to cost 100 million. I don't even want to imagine how much it would have cost if it was done by local guys. So the Chinese saying, let them destroy, we're going to come build. Neocolonialism. Could it be a Glencore? Could it be someone else? You know.
But if you're already running the system, though, if you're already running the system, why go to that extent? Because already the system is under your rule.
There's certain people you may be trying to shift out. And the only way you can shift them out is if shit burns. Or if you collapse the insurance companies. Now local insurers are fucking out of money. Now they need to go get money elsewhere. And we've seen what China does. They're like, oh, money, it's fine. We give you money. But the money is always attached to something.
Yeah.
So that becomes a gain for them. You know what I mean? If this country burns and we're saying, look, we're fucking up our own economy, there's going to be a savior who's going to come and be like, guys, I have a bit of cash. I can help you guys out. I can supply you guys. You guys need fuel. It's chilled. We're not speaking about Mozambique. We've heard that in Mozambique, people have been getting their heads chopped off, linked to ISIS. There were rumors of some of the guys being in Durban, some in Joburg. Why are we not having that discussion? Again, I found out about Mozambique maybe a year or two ago before it became mainstream news. And I was asking, why the fuck is no one talking about this? And the story was, no, we don't want the people to panic. I'm like, there's fucking insurgents in Mozambique that are murdering people. South Africa should know. And then it started getting into the news, and our intelligence still seemed to downplay it. Like, again, conspiracies, but why are we not entertaining those things and then maybe crossing them off? Because the dust might settle, right? We might go back to life. And everyone will be like, oh, things are fine, like with COVID. But we haven't noticed that all of a sudden maybe there's a new pharmaceutical company that's pumping jabs.
Sure.
All of a sudden there's a new industry worth billions that has to inject people every single year. All of a sudden there's a new big logistics player that transports vaccines. Who are they? Where are they coming from?